I'm here to tell you a bit about the story we are having around SAP HANA and the fully connected digital intelligent world. First, Huawei. It's a Chinese company. We're actually quite a humble company, just entering the enterprise world and the SAP domain. We have an annual revenue last year about 92 billion. We have grown big in telecommunications and carrier business. We have more than 180,000 people working for us globally. We're active in 170 countries. We spent last year about 14 billion US dollars on R&D. We have 90,000 people working only on R&D. So we are into technology. Technology is our DNA. That is actually why we have quite a lot of success cases around HANA. For example, we are operating a 136 terabyte HANA cluster back in China. You might wonder why, but it is like these type of scenarios we are skilled, we have the capability to execute, and we actually develop these type of technologies for homeland China, but also for the rest of the globe. We have an active presence everywhere. It's all about making sure that we are providing the best possible added value for our customers around the globe. In this case for Newcastle University as well, a lot of HANA clusters, and it's all about higher performance, better reliability, and also saving a bit of energy. HANA is nice, HANA is one thing. The HANA domain has been settling in the SAP world for the last 8 years. We are not really an active player there. We are starting to just get into this world. One of the things we find interesting as well is Internet of Things. We are doing a lot of Internet of Things projects around the globe. In China we have a couple of really interesting ones regarding the public domain, regarding smart housing and industry solutions, and again on scales which are unprecedented. That's our DNA, that's why we are pushing so much money and effort into R&D, because we want to take technology up to the next level. When we look at the SAP domain and the enterprise domain in general, when we confirm a bit with the transition which is going on in the SAP world, we see that SAP is moving and centering around a digital core. A digital core which can be operated in different scenarios from an infrastructure perspective. Do it on-premise in housing and hosting, do it on a cloud platform, or maybe even a hybrid combination. That's how you enable your entire industry solutions to actually make sure that your enterprise processes can be operated smoothly. Of course, nowadays, well, it's going quickly to the next level. Nowadays we are actually having quite a lot of additional new technologies coming around, like machine learning, like blockchain, artificial intelligence, all types of advanced analytics and complex algorithm execution. And of course, we are now entering the field of IoT integration as well. It's interesting because this entire scope actually can be delivered from our own portfolio. We are actually active on all domains, and that makes us a really different player than all the other vendors in the industry. We can actually be the one-stop shop for all your technology. For the purpose of this presentation today, I just grabbed it a bit around 3 different domains. The first one is the digital core, which needs to be mission critical, elastic from a point of view of data storage and capacity, virtualization. You want to be flexible in your deployment scenarios. Secondly, the advanced analytics and high performance computing. The complex algorithms which are actually needed for machine learning are actually taking a lot of capacity away, and for us actually HANA is a limiting factor. We have technology which is faster and quicker than HANA, so we actually want to combine our own infrastructure with the HANA stuff to provide a complete overall picture. When we talk about IoT and the intelligent edge, we see that IoT is a very important game changer. Device management, connectivity management, but also having the intelligence on the edge to make sure that you optimize your use of data management. Huawei enables the SAP Intelligent Enterprise from a technology perspective. Together with SUSE, we are actually working on making sure that we can just basically deliver a box which is stuck into a socket and it works. It operates with SUSE OS on the server side, but we're also collaborating with SUSE on the software-defined storage solutions. So combined with server and storage directions, we and SUSE are actually tied together, because that's the operating system actually used to deliver HANA and all kinds of other SAP applications in an on-premise or in a virtualized environment. We find it important that we stay in line with SAP and we get all our technologies certified by SAP. It is important for you as customers, but also for our partners, to ensure that we have the ability to execute and deliver production environments. That means on the lower end side, on the server and on the storage side, everything is certified. Also on the virtualization element, everything is certified or near certification in this year. That enables you as a partner, but also as a customer, to actually step into the new future of managed cloud scenarios, or virtualized environments, infrastructure as a service, and devise new business models. We want to support our partners, but also our customers, to actually enable innovation. Talking a bit about the digital core. The digital core, as mentioned before, is mission critical. It's the most important part of your enterprise. It needs to be up and running 24/7. Because of our carrier background, we actually have a lot of different quality of service standards. We have so much high reliability standards based on our telecommunications experience that we aim not for 99.9999%, we aim for 100%. Our use cases actually delivered 100%. We are operating HANA environments for a couple of years now with 0% outage. That's, I think, a very important element if you consider that your digital core is absolutely mission critical. This is just to give you an indication that we support all kinds of deployment scenarios, from a single node up to a scale out, up to a tailored data center integration scenario. Translating that into a business use, you can decide to actually buy your own hardware, stuff it in your own data center. You can find the housing and hosting partner, or you can even work together with one of the cloud providers to set up a private managed cloud scenario. In all cases, we deliver, and our equipment is highly reliable and supporting it. Same is for storage. We are actually knowing that storage is a very important element. Not only computing power, but storage of your data is essential as well. In the digital core, it's important that your storage is always up and running. So that means we have a couple of different concepts. We have a vast portfolio of products, but we also support, as one of the only ones, a certified storage solutions with a full active mode. That means if something happens, you never lose data. It's an interesting concept. For us, it's common goods, and that's what we want to introduce into the SAP world as well. In addition, we also facilitate a reduction of deployment time. Just summing it up, we have a lot of nice features with extreme reliability, with all flash and HANA appliances, extremely powerful. All those things are really great. What we find really important also is the environment. If we see the consumption of energy nowadays of servers and storage, it is getting completely out of sync. It's so immense. The faster you go, the more energy it consumes. So we actually use our own R&D capability not only to become better and faster, but also to reduce and become more energy efficient, but also more space efficient. Deploying green IT with our SAP HANA solutions can actually save you up to 30% in your total cost of ownership on operations of your digital core. That means from energy savings and space savings in your housing and hosting co-location, on the operational lifespan of your digital core, you can actually gain a TCO reductions which is significant. Procurement and buying your equipment, that's the first step of getting yourself going into a digital era. But actually operating it and making sure that you keep the cost under control is an important element as well. This is also an interesting model because we see that a lot of the partners and customers are not only looking at a CAPEX model for the digital core, but they really want to OPEX the digital core. Infrastructure is a commodity. When you actually realize that you can save 30% of your total cost of ownership, then you can actually build a business model which makes sense. You can actually start to compete with public cloud providers, for example. Another important element I want to emphasize is advanced analytics and high-performance computing. We actually have a significant portfolio of high-performance computing. It's actually the same sort of server line which is used for the HANA environment. We are working with big scientific projects, for example with CERN in the Large Hadron Collider, to do massive amounts of data grinding. We use all kinds of big data scenarios to really optimize and make sure that we have a converged architecture. We do things with GPU. We have a lot of technology around high performance computing. It's very interesting because if you want to actually start using advanced analytics in your enterprise environment, you are quite limited if you do not actually ensure that your servers have the ability to execute. Complex algorithms and machine learning concepts, they take a lot of grinding time. If you actually take a different approach and enable high performance computing in your enterprise, you can save a lot of time and you can deploy much more efficiently. Moving into the IoT domain. I think that's one of the key buzzwords on this Sapphire this year. IoT Industry 4.0, it's an interesting world. We actually see it in a little bit of a different layers. On the lower end, you have many devices which are basically data loggers. They just collect some data and you just need to send it off and you can do all kinds of nice things with it. Bandwidth is quite low, data footprint is quite low, but you also have the mid-range devices. It's not the biggest amount, but it's like the wearables, the smart thermostats in your house, or the little things. So it's a bit of the middle range. And you have the high bandwidth rates, which actually like video and video surveillance and facial recognition and these type of scenarios, all Internet of Things scenarios. It's quite interesting because we, having our telecommunication background, we not only focus on the devices or on the core side, but we also have the ability to provide the connectivity to ensure from high bandwidth to low bandwidth connectivity for the entire industry. If that is in a suburb location or if it's in a remote location, we can provide a network coverage to actually ensure that you can integrate IoT in a way which actually works. Sorry, I have to take a sip. How does our IoT solution work? On the lower end, we have all kinds of devices. We are not in production of devices. We have an ecosystem where we collaborate with a lot of manufacturers regarding the devices. We have a little bit of a light operating system which we can deploy, which actually makes it for us a very interesting concept to start using and connecting those devices into the edge. And the edge, that's where the bandwidth actually comes around. If you want to connect into the edge, you actually maybe want to do some processing on the edge side. That's what we call the intelligent edge. You don't want all your data to be stuffed into your digital core. You actually want to make sure that it's pre-processed. And you only want the data which makes sense into your core business process. Excuse me. Like mentioned, connectivity management. You have to connect all your devices and you have to keep it up and running. But you also need to make sure that you can manage your devices. You want to know when the battery is dead. You want to know when it's faulty or providing an error. You want to actually have to control that. But you also want to enable your applications, your business applications. You want to integrate the data which is collected by these devices into your own stack, which can be any given stack. Industry-specific deployment scenarios, that's quite simple, and it's integrating into almost anything. If it's SAP, if it's S4, if it's via Leonardo, if it's in a different OT system, if it's in any kind of different scenario, it offers a cloud-to-cloud integration APIs. On the top end, we just provide you with the opportunity via an API structure to use all your data coming from your IoT devices to do your connection management, your device management in any given ERP application or whatever else you want to use. So that's actually where we try to offer you a complete platform of innovation which can go in either direction and has a lot of combinations within the SAP stack, with outside of the SAP stack, or any given technology which is valid for your organization. The combination of us, Huawei, together with SAP and SUSE, and we have a lot of other ecosystem partners, is for us the perfect enabler to your business. And that's where we are actually focusing on, helping you to actually provide the ability to innovate. We want to provide you with scalability, with an elasticity. We want to take you we want to allow you to go to the next level. We actually want to power your fully connected intelligent enterprise. If you want to talk a bit more, we have a booth over there, which is booth number 100, which we have a couple of nice examples on how you can use AI, how you can use different forms of IoT, and how you can actually use the HANA storage and service scenarios. Thank you. That was my short pitch. Any questions? I'm here now, so if you have any questions.